God's consultant. Who did God consult with when he wanted to create the world? Bemin nimlach. Who did he consult with? Benishmaisam shel tzadikim. He consulted with the souls of the righteous. So, what is our role in creation? We're the consultant. Okay, I'm supposed to be a businessman. Good morning, Jeffrey Wald. Good to see you. I'm supposed to be a businessman, so I'm supposed to know what a consultant is. You could have a tax consultant, for example. We go sometimes to property tax consultants. They're experts, okay? We go to them because they know more than us. You don't go to you don't go to your, like, kindergarten kid. Like, my kindergarten kid can paint that Jackson Pollock that everyone says, right? Can he also consult? No, you go to consultant who is an expert in their field. Who did God go to decide whether he's going to create the world or not? To the souls of the righteous. Amek kulam tzadikim, everyone's righteous. It's talking about everybody. It's talking about all Jewish souls. So who did God go to? Who did he consult with? Who was the expert on creation? It's the Jewish soul. Why? Because they're synonymous with creation. So there's a level of us that's a consultant that could even advise God, Ge'ilu. Why? Because the whole concept of creation is this soul. That is what creation is for. Beis Reishis. The Torah shenikram Reishis and Yisrael shenikram Reishis. The Torah and the Jewish people, God created the world for that. So God's creating the world for us and consulting with us about how to create the world. I got into this fight, sort of, with Rabbi Noam Wagner. Right, so I just think that I'm losing, I don't have a strong signal or something. So I'm trying to turn off the Wi-Fi and say, okay. I got in a fight with him about suggesting that the Jewish people are Chadim Abayra. We're obviously Chadim Abayra. But the idea of using that term as opposed to a different term to say that we're one with, I would like to see a source for that. It uses different terms. To be one with the Beira, maybe if I'm having trouble understanding, because it says in Tanya that the power of creating ex nihilo, yesh ma'ayin, is only in the power of Atzmus, and it specifies davka, specifically not souls or other things like heavenly things. But souls don't have that power. And there it explains in some of the writings about Tanya, it explains that it's talking about the level of the soul as it is in, I think, Malchus of Atzilus, but not higher than that. So there's Machshava Keduma Da'ak, which is higher than even Atzilus. So there's different aspects of the soul. So yes, there's a unity at a different level. Ultimately, Einon Mavadi, there's only God. Why? Because we're totally rooted in the essence of God. So that was what the Rebbe says in a sikha that's just driving me crazy. That it says, in order to make a dira for Hashem's very essence, it has to be recognizable as they descend into the physical world itself, that you embody the source from where you came. Your true place is the very essence of God. In order for you, so that's a bit just, good morning. So just to review again what's happening here, in order for you to fulfill your mission in coming into the whole world, for you to be created, in order for you to fulfill that, you have to embody your true place, which is in the essence of God. What is the essence of God? If you're going to say anything about the essence of God, He's infinite. It's called Ein Sof for a reason, because you can't say anything about the essence of God. But if you're going to call it anything, call it infinite. The Ein Sof. Why? Because I didn't make it up. That's what we call it for a reason. Because it's the least. It eludes any limitation more than any other words in the English language, or the Hebrew language in this case. Okay, so how do you absorb such a message? Do you feel like King Kong and you could just bring the essence of God, the infinite, into the finite? Do you feel you can embody the Atzmus of Hashem? Do you feel that? Or do you feel somewhat restricted by your 10 feet tallness? Do you feel that you can even hear these words that the Rebbe is saying? You want to fulfill your mission to create a dwelling place for God in the world? You be that godly place in the world. You be that. You be infinite in that finite world. Now, what could that mean? I know someone that had quadruple amputation. That person doesn't feel so infinite. I try and daven for him because I can't imagine his pain. So I try and say, God, I mean, come on, we have to have Moshiach. This cannot be. Interestingly, I found another source where the Rebbe says the reason why the exile has continued so long. I think that's actually part of this whole thing. Just that it's like, because we didn't do a certain incredible accomplishment, like embodying the highest thing. Or I can't find the spot right now. I'll find it later. Okay. I think there's probably a technical difficulty with the system today. I'm gonna make a part 2, I think. Or is that annoying? Forget the part 2. If no one's here, no one's here. If it's not working, oh, there's somebody. Hello. Just let me know if it's working. Okay, someone type hello from China. Wherever you're from. Okay, my Chinese is it's an vulnerability. So I wanted to speak about embracing your vulnerabilities. Now, because I think that a true warrior knows he's finite. He knows he's finite. So he has to embrace even his vulnerabilities, because if not, those vulnerabilities would bring him down. A warrior has to see who he is, his inner strength in the core. Who are you in the core, the Rebbe teaches us? You are the very essence of God in the core. Therefore, you have the power to bring the essence of God revealed in this world, finite world, through you finite you, to the infinite. Now, how is that possible? Good morning. How is that possible? How do you feel like you could become infinite in a finite body? I'm suggesting the first step, and maybe it's only the first step, that's the whole journey. You just have to go put your pinky finger and the God will lift it up for you. Maybe it's just that first step, that's all that's required. Doesn't God love us? Can someone just type something? I think that there's some technical difficulties. Just type hello, Baruch. I'm going to wave at you and tell me if it's working. Okay, maybe you're driving too. I'm driving. Check it out. Okay. I'm talking to myself then. It's not working. So I'm suggesting, okay, these are the words that I tried to put this idea to. Ashen sky. A basket fills with apples. Okay, you don't know what I'm talking about. I know Menachem Feuer's typing away all of his ridiculous haikus, which are, I'm sure, much deeper than mine. So what am I talking about here? Ashen sky. I actually originally wanted to say coffee clouds, like some moment of transcendence that you have when you're just not thinking about anything. It's just like an obscure moment. Sometimes from that, when we just let go of our thought, sometimes that is what allows us to actually go deeper. And there's like a positive, obviously, a meditative approach to that where it's more directed and you're just not floating aimlessly in your thoughts, but you're focusing your thoughts on something that inspires you. It's the more Jewish type of meditations, more like that, I think. Okay, there's different types of meditations, like zillions. So ash and sky is like a moment of transcendent, of introspection. And a basket fills with apples. If you have vulnerabilities, I think you have to embrace those as vessels. Thank you. For now I know someone's there. Maybe it's working now. Thank you. So I think that there is a tremendous spiritual, godly power that allows us, our vulnerabilities, to be, if not healed, because some things you really need a miracle, and okay, you should have a miracle. But some things can only be reasonably thought to be met spiritually. There's sources for this. I could say why I'm saying that, but yes, of course, a miracle can happen. You can grow 3 legs and 4 noses. Yes, miracles can happen. If you need all those noses, isn't one enough? So how can you, finite dude, become infinite, embodying the infinite? Okay, especially those who feel more vulnerable, especially those people, but this exists in everybody. You gotta always go higher, because look where we have to go to. Shalom Yisrael Yerushalayim. Because you have a pretty important mission. You want to bring the essence of God, the infinity of all infinity, into a finite world, and specifically in your gatkas, in your closest to you, right inside you, right in your thoughts, right in your brain, right in your soul. You have to be infinite. So I think that the warrior, and I'm like, sometimes you see these videos of like people with disabilities just like jumping over the CN Tower, and you say, how could it be? The only way that person did it is not feeling Nebuch basket case. I guarantee you. I didn't interview them, so I'm just a philosopher. I can make up whatever I want. It's a much cheaper way than like hiring an old statistical analysis machine. So how could you, finite person, become infinite? That's what the Rebbe is charging us with. There's certain powers that I'm trying to tell you how you tap into this. The power today that it's talking about, that fascinated me, and I hope I could articulate this properly, and especially in less time than I have, is the power of free choice. This is a very elusive idea that it never really resonated to me, why people get so hung up on this concept. But the Rebbe is saying here that is the source of the power to become ke'ilu, synonymous with atzmusa yisbarach. You embody God through a certain power that's called the chira, free choice. I want to read you the halacha that's quoted in here, okay? In 5th chapter of Hilchos Tshuva, the laws of repentance. That's pretty topical for this time of year, don't you think? Didn't you swing a chicken over your head the other day? I did. I wore my Shana coat, only my best. Plastic, black plastic. It's just 6 times too big for me. That's what I wore, okay? So I've worn my, like, Shabbos finery. If I really believed that I'm not going to get rained on in a negative way, it's only could be Gishmei Bracha, good morning. Okay, so why did I wear a Shana coat to Kaparis? Ugh, Yossi Stein will be so ashamed of me. Okay, that brings me to the Medrash. It speaks about shame and how not to be shamed, and from, when God says, "Here I am." Anihu in the Maimer of the Rebbe Rashab. Anihu, that's what it says. Ve'eroe ala kaperis. God is going to appear on the kaperis of the golden, or the kruvim, or the cherubs, the golden cherubs. That's where he's going to. How did I get to speaking about Kruvim? I'm speaking about Hilchos Tshuva. It says this is the source for the power, okay? This is the source for the power to embody the infinite. It comes, I'm suggesting here, I'll show you why. It comes from Hilchos Tshuva, the 5th chapter, Repentance and Rabbi. This is the base. They're going to darshan this. That's going to make you like into, you're an angel all of a sudden. Like you could zap that building over there into smithereens. I mean, angels in the Torah have destructive powers also. And good morning, even righteous people have shown infinite, fantastical, superhero powers, like fire blazing out of their eyes and burning up the universe. Okay, we have that just ask Rabbi and his son. And when they finally emerged from the cave, what they did. Zzz. Okay, doesn't Superman have that as one of his zillionth powers? He can like burn up anything. It's not enough that his muscle is like Popeye's. That's not enough. He has to have laser eyes that burn everything up. Why does the Torah say Rabbi has that power? What are you meant to be? And what if you have obstacles that you cannot imagine? I'm suggesting here, you can tap into a power here. Like, okay, I don't see the connection yet either. But look, this is what we're going to darshan it to say. You're going to become you're going to be like one of us, the elite, the angels. This is where the source of this idea is. How we're going to interpret this halacha. Rishus, because it's by suggestion mostly. So you're going to have to tell me that I'm looking into things if you don't agree with me. If I get a chance to actually get that far. Because I have like a zillion things packed in negative 10 minutes that I have. Rishus l'chol adam netuna. You have permission. If you want to incline yourself, talk about inclinations. I have an inclination. If you want to incline yourself, yes, I have inclinations. What's your inclination? It's a verb. Make the noun into a verb. I can incline myself, says Rambam. And wait till you see the way Chassidus darshan states. If you want to be master of your world, what is your world? What do you have an influence on? Yourself? Your thoughts? Your gakas? If you want to be a tzaddik, you want to be Rabbi, burn up the world with your eyeballs. You want to be that guy, you want to be infinite. You want to embody Atzmus. That's the Dirba Tachtainim. That's the power to bring out the Dirba Tachtainim. Is through you becoming Atzmus. Okay, it's an infinite journey. Hello, next universe. I'm going to have to travel like galactic speeds to get there. It's not what it's talking about. That's what the Rambam's teaching you here. It comes with Bechira. And in one moment, and that's the treasure chest that you just open up in one moment. Okay, we could bring other sources for why it's instantly. I actually spoke about that, I think. Maybe, or someone else did. Rishus, okay, you have the power. You have the Rishus. Okay, you want to have Rishus to open the treasure chest? You have Rishus to do that. You have an inclination? Yes. What are you inclined to do? I'm inclined to be master of myself. I have that power. If I want to be wicked, you could do that. I have so much power. I could be a villain. And this is the verse that the Rebbe emphasizes when we get to that. The angels were saying, lest man be like one of us, to know what's good and what's bad. The angels know if they don't do good, if they don't follow what God wants, they don't get their like anchovy pizza and they're hungry all night. They know that. Hakdish liyitzram. They know who they're being makdish and sanctifying. It's their yitzram. They're one who forms them, and they live in an emotional universe. I don't know. I've never seen it. Have you seen it? I saw something similar once. I spoke about it at length. Okay, I'm not going to go back there for at least 3.5 minutes. Okay, so it says, lest they be like us angels. Ladas teivara. So the Rebbe emphasizes the word ke'echad mimenu, like one of us, these angels. Lest they be like us. How do we define an angel? You know what's good for you. That's a power. That's the Bechira. You have the power to be like an angel because you know what's good for you. And that will lead to health in your world because God will bless you through that. That is the vessel. That's the basket that fills with apples, okay? That's like, the Jewish people are like into apples, so I had to say apples, not cherries. It's a more popular fruit descriptive of life's a bowl of cherries. The Kabbalistic cherry is apples, and didn't you just eat them with honey on it? So you know that too. So the Rambam interprets, lest you not understand, lest you not be like one of them, Nildas Tevera. This species of man was unique in the world. Nobody even resembled him. What made him unique? What is the greatest power that makes you unique? You're an Adam. You're one person in the universe. There's not even a mate for you because you have that nukva in you. You have both. You have everything. You're Adam. You're shleimus. It's the 10 amas on either side of the Aron. The shleimus of both. Okay, the luchos resonate that there's two. I know that totally. Someone help me there. Why are there two luchos? Someone tell me that. I haven't had time to look it up yet. I'm fascinated by other things. I'm trying to bring you the power of the infinite. Can you imagine what's his name? The guy with the gauntlet. Who even knows the word gauntlet? Kids, they're teaching the kids the word gauntlet. They don't have that in the vocabulary. That's supposed to be Thanos' great thing. He's got a gauntlet. Isn't that like something you smack the waiter across the face with when he puts a fly in your soup? That's a gauntlet. We don't have that word. They create their own. I used to read comic books and they talk like so funny. Like that's what in my head was filled with all these words about like what's it called, pseudo science fiction terms. They don't even try and give a premise. You want to have a time machine? I'm there. I got it. Like, you know, if you want your gas changed, that will take you 3 weeks. But the Avengers can make a time machine in like by before it gets dark out. It has only one specific use. If you want to know the sports numbers in advance, it's not going to help you. You had to take an oath like nanu. So how does Rambam interpret this? So we're unique in the fact that you have some ethical. If there's like an alien out there, he's not ethical. He just is like a plant. The Rabbi says that. He could be intelligent. He could like program computers all day long. He could be that guy. But he's not going to tell you whether you should like use the nuclear bomb to do something huge. Change all of history. Or maybe it did. You're going to tell me they just did that to make Johnson & Johnson a bigger company. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard decision for any human being to make. I think, like, barring people that are totally evil, most other people are like an admixture, good morning, of, like, good and not so good. But not complete evil. People have illnesses. And they're selfish. I guess that's evil. It's the only real real evil thing is when the person doesn't even care about other people. He just, okay, bang, psycho too, in the shower. And a person has the power to do whatever the heck he wants. That's what it says here. You could go like this if you wanted to. You could do weird things. Any weird thing you could do, anytime. The fact that I don't do weird, like, okay, I do a lot of weird things, but I didn't do 3 more than I could have. That's because I'm master of my destiny. I could do whatever I want. You know what? There's not even someone that can stand in my way. If I want to move my hand through this wall, I could do it. It'll get stopped by some particles, but there's no force that's against my will to do that. There's maybe atoms in the way of that. But there's no force opposing my will. Do we believe in the devil? I don't even like to say that word. Do we believe in such a thing? Here it says, There's nothing standing in your way. There's no force that's... Even the top harlot, okay, I have whole speeches about that top harlot. She only wants the prince to succeed and overcome his temptation. She wants to see Yosef as the hero. The top harlot, she has to like give the job out to the lesser one and find the one that's like in the alley. Okay, that's the one that's going to do it, because nobody else would have, with any sensitivity, would be seriously trying to get the most important creation, the creation of all world, to not please the king. Don't you want to have a good relationship with God? He kind of creates your world. So did he consult with us? But where does the power come from? He consulted with us because he cares. Because the whole purpose of the world is to say, I care about you. That's the whole purpose of the world. There's proof. Is that what we say about don't do harm unto others? Don't do what you don't like, then don't do it, and don't do it again, because that's like a quadruple negative in that sentence. And they snuck some in. That's always fun, right? Okay, so are we getting too tired? Or should we do just, at least should I tell you where the source for this idea comes from? And why are we quoting this? Here it is. He quotes it here. Reshusam, the Brias Ha'olam, Birshusam, Shel Yisrael. The Rebbe translates it different. It's cancel my entire video. Here the Rebbe himself defines what it means. The creation of the world is the reshus of the Yisrael. Kaviyachol. Shebehem nimlach. I said that consultation means expertise. Okay, so maybe at one level I'm right. God wants our expertise is, we know what suffering is. Okay, that's this whole medrash with Moshiach, which whom God calls Ephraim, interestingly there. So someone has to tell me what that means. Moshiach ben Yosef, he talks about Moshiach ben David. Why does he call him Ephraim? I don't know what he's talking about. But he talks about his suffering, and his suffering is worthwhile because God suffers with the Jewish people. That's what it says there. In the most dramatic terms, I won't be able to translate that 100% properly yet, because I'm just going through it a second time, and it's like last time I already fumbled it very badly. When you gotta prepare something when you're going to jump into a medrash that's like this long. Don't be crazy. Put on your seatbelt. So the Rebbe says, what does it mean? Shebehem nimlach livrei ha'olam? It's with our permission. Birshusam? We have reshus. We decide. Oh, you want to? Okay, do it. Good idea. Right on, my bestie. Good idea. You know, can I have like a palace somewhere on the Swiss Alps? Okay, I love you. Why not? You know what? I'll be there with you. Because that's the only relationship I want, when I'm present in everything you do. I'm just there always. That's where I think, okay, I know I'm jumping around. But the secret for our vulnerabilities is that it's a basket. If we empty ourselves and be humble and say, God, this is what you've given me. I want to be the best this thing, X. I want to be the best X that I could possibly be. You define your vulnerabilities as X. And you include those vulnerabilities. But you're an Adam, you have shleimus. So what's Kabbalah talking about? Where's your shleimus? How can you embody the infinite? How can you do what the Rebbe says here? That's our whole mission. To make a dwelling place for God's essence is you have to embody Atzmos. Thank you very much. I couldn't even like day trade. I couldn't make $100 day trading. And you want me to embody the infinite. Okay. I'm not even close. I'm light years away. So the Rebbe attaches this whole power to tap into who you really are, which is the essence of God, okay? Kaviyachol, 100 times. To the power of 100, I mean. To the power of infinite. So where does this power come from to like embody? Because you have two places. You have, as you came out from the womb of heaven, You're a creation. Ani nivreisi. There's two ways to say I was created to serve a master, or I wasn't created except to. In Hebrew, it's don't get me quoting things. If it's right in front of me, it's so easy to look up. Ani nivreisi ela l'shamash tzkani. Okay, I couldn't find it, but that's what the idea is. I would like nivreisi. I was not created except ella. Except who serves. So were you created or not created? Make up your mind. So the Rebbe says there's two levels. As you are in this world now, the guy I'm talking to right now, like your heads, you can only do ani nivreisi l'shamash tzkani in certain respect. That's who you are. I was created to serve God. Okay? But who is ani nivreisi? There is no creation. You're beyond creation because why? You're rooted in the very essence of God. And that's expressed through, okay, because God consulted with them to create the world. So therefore, everything's in your permission. The same way you gave permission for God to create the world, therefore, that's expressed. How does that express itself in terms of your relationship to God? You just gave over yourself willingly. You walked into a relationship willingly. And therefore, it's expressed by you continually affirming that. By showing that I want to do what you you put me here. You say, I wanted a house here. So this is how you're going to build it. If you don't build it, it's going to fall off the cliff, I guarantee you. And it does. And because you try it 100 times. And finally you say, you know what? Okay, I have these blueprints for creation. It's called the Torah, and I'm going to implement them and make a dwelling place for Hashem. Okay, so where's the power to do that in an infinite way? Like you're going to win the lottery 1,000,000 times in a row. The Rebbe Maharash won the lottery 3 times. I don't know what that means. Was it like the bingo, the local bingo that he won? It said lottery. I need a historian to tell me what that means. Was it the Lotto 649? Was it the biggest draw in history? The Rebbe Maharash lived big. So, but is that, it has to be Nikar Meitzon, Nimukerim Hamiti, Batsmusli Sporak. It has to be recognized, the place where you came out from, in the source of God, from your true place, in the essence of God. That's what it has to be recognized in you. Okay, it doesn't say you have to have like wings that span the universe. You don't have to have that necessarily. It has to be recognized. How do we define what that means, recognized? I don't know, whatever it doesn't say here. What do you think the litmus test for that could be? I think it depends on your relationship. You have a relationship with God. God gave you like $100 more this week than last week. So you're saying, wow, God, that's a really nice thing you did for me. Is that the way you have it? Like, you did one for me, tit for tat? That's like the negative. So you shake my hand, I'll shake yours. We have a good, okay, the Rebbe, I've spoken about this at length, how we have this like partnership. We have what's the partnership? What do you get out of it? You can behold God. That's what you get out of the deal. What does God get? That's what we said. You have this partnership. There is this symbiotic relationship. That's why even the luchis, has to be 2 gems. There can't be 1 gem that's all shows the unity. The gems themselves represent unity. You don't write ink on parchment. There's not 2 things. It's engraved within these sapphire gems, the Saras Dibris. Okay, you got 5 and 5. Why not 10? Put 10. Do you have a right side and a left side that you have to show the distinction davka in order to show their unity? So the material reflects a deeper type of unity than the fact that there's 2 tablets? Then why are there 2? Am I missing? Maybe there's like just a line down the middle. Actually 2 tablets, they're both cubes. No one imagines rolling dice. God had a plan, didn't he? He wasn't just rolling dice with the universe, says Einstein. Okay, maybe if we're talking Einstein's going to wave goodbye. Did I finish the point? What was my title? Consultant? Okay, so the Rebbe says we're not consultants. We're administrators. I need permission to create the world. And that's the power for each other. Okay, so I didn't read the footnote. Let's just read it quickly because the Rambam, it's really basically quoting Rambam. It says, for this reason, the fact that the whole world was with your permission, that gives us the ability so that in the world there's the permission giving to every person, or you could be like one of us. The angels are saying, the Rebbe puts ... He could do whatever he wants. The Rebbe goes right to those words. You could do whatever you want. There's no one to stand in your way. Okay. Then he speaks here about the effect of implementing your free will. It's analogous to davening Marev. At nighttime we daven Marev, and that is the level of Rishus. It's not even a minhag. Well, it became a minhag. Tfilas Arvis Rishus. It's permission. In Talmudic times, you didn't have to daven Marev, I guess, or before that. Rishus Shalamayla Mecheva. But you know what? The fact that you just have permission, you decide to do it, that's greater than if you're told to do it. Okay, we have certain aspects in Gemara Kedushin, it holds the whole thing. It's better to be commanded and to do it than not to be commanded. That's why you don't want to be blind, Chas v'shalom, besides the fact that it makes your life like you're not alive. But it recognizes sensitivity to blind people, that they suffer so much that they're not obligated in positive commandments. And so, I don't know, maybe she has grandma, I forget. So but it comes out there that it's greater if you had been commanded. Here there's an aspect that's greater if you just thought, I want to do this because, there's a story about the Baal Shem Tov took his disciples to like a ravine somewhere, and there's a guy like flipping around doing or he's a shepherd, and this is what he did on his lunch break and cigarette break. He happened to be an acrobat, so he would like do different things, and he would like do flips for God, and that God would be embodied in the joy of his doing that, because that's what he did for his creator. And then he takes a coin and gives, this is all the money I have. in heaven they take it. It just stops existing. It says that the miracle of bringing something out of existence is greater than bringing something into existence. We learned that from, Salag Baber. So the power associated when you just decide, I want to do this, and that's really what it's all about. You're ultimately going to be one in the Kaddish Gadashim with Hashem, whether you lift a finger or not. He's going to make you lift a finger, okay? You don't want that. You want a nice relationship. But when you actually say, God, I want to do something for you, I want to daven 3 times a day. Not 2 isn't enough. I want to daven 3 times a day. And you add, okay? When you do something in Rishus, that shows on what you just did is the only thing you could do. When you don't have to and you do it, you reached a place that's much higher than you actually reached. This is the power of infinite in this idea. It says that you touched on the essence of God. It doesn't say essence of God here, but that's what it's talking about. In a place, because this is like the highest level. It speaks that you cannot reach that level. You cannot reach it. It's infinite, and therefore you're finding you'll never reach it. But you do reach it through the power of Bechira, saying, I want it. Okay. In other words, I want a relationship with you, God. I'm not going to try and ignore you. I want a real relationship. I give you $100. You give me whatever. If that's the type of person you are, it works on that basis too, I'm sure. Whoever you are, whatever. Just be a good person if that's, you're all into money. Some people, it's not nice for me to say, but I know, okay, I'm not going to say it. This is the great importance of the concept of reward. From this, we're going to learn how great reward is. You should think about reward. You're not supposed to serve Hashem for reward. But this tells you what there is good about reward. There is a way. There's always a way. There's always a flip side. Okay, you're not as smart as the next guy who knows how to interpret it differently. So don't be so smart to tell the universe that you can't do this, you can't do that. Give me a break. You should know. You should have a sensitivity to everything said in the Torah. At least it's somewhere. Okay, there's one part of the Torah that includes it all. So, but that means you have to relate to the Torah on that level. the infinity of the Torah. You have to make yourself so pure to be able to do that. So I'm telling you to be that person. You could be infinite. And this tells you the greatness. Okay, let's end on reward, okay? This tells you what the greatness of reward is, because you would think, who cares? I'm supposed to just serve. That's all I am. Because if it was just a reward for what you did, if that was reciprocal, I'd put in my times thingy like Fred Flintstone in the morning. I just put that bone into that bone thing, and then, I just checked in. That was pretty high tech, I guess, for the Flintstones. So, it's not, if it was just that, no. This is something higher than anything that's reciprocal. Because you cannot possibly deserve this reward. It's impossible. Why? Because you're finite. So, at what point? Moshiach actually is tortured. So, he's the most pure. I didn't know this. Okay? The Jewish mythology, or I don't know, like the imagery around is so trying to show its this differentness from other religions that we don't talk about this. But here's a medrash that I found. Okay, I don't think I got what's good today, but maybe tomorrow, because I promised you yesterday, and then it will be like next year. So you can never accomplish infinite worthiness. Why? Because the scar is too great for you. You're finite. God made you that way on purpose. He consulted with you because you have vulnerabilities. He wanted that. That's what the whole thing of a world is, where there are finite, but specifically that he chose out of love, the Nar Yisrael Ve'aveu. So you could see the greatness of reward. Because if it were reciprocal, so really you are infinite in the core. And that's what when you have free choice and you give that to God, you open up a relationship whereby you get infinity back. Why? Because really in the core you are one with infinity. So you are like you put in, you pawn something and you put it up there. It's something that you, like the winning lottery ticket. It's you just have to like cash it in at the local Shoppers Drug Mart, and they give you like $1 zillion right there. You cashed it in. The Rebbe says not only, okay, I'm gonna keep going on forever. You missed a good Magnish thing, okay? Because he was screaming about the most incredible thing in the world, which actually resonates with what I started with. Well, this whole idea. He was speaking about, okay, you're one with the Rebbe. Okay, that's a whole other thing. You are Rebbe. He kept on screaming that, but the other side for this, or something related, is he was screaming in the Rebbe's name, of course, and 20 years ago or so, 17, whatever it was, 20 years ago, 21, that the Sudas, Levios, and the Shara Bar, and Yanim and Shumar are there on the Shulchan Aruch before you. It's not just that you have a treasure chest that you got to turn the key and you have to do something else. It's right there. You just have to open your eyes. What does that mean? I'm trying to open my eyes. I'm giving you the thought process that's behind this sort of evolution that I'm trying to instill in a conscience dimension, as opposed to I don't want to put chips under my fingernails yet. Sometime, I'm sure. I'm not going to be like the guy that doesn't. My son has a banana phone. I'm not that retro. So one day, 1,000 years from now, I'm probably going to get a chip under my finger. And not think it's a big deal. So I'm just saying that whatever you're lacking, God forbid, at least it exists spiritually for now, and it's going to slowly, or not slowly, very quickly be brought out in a physically expressed way, and I have a zillion sources for you, and I have no time to do it now. So get everyone else. If your local rabbi is not finding sources for these things, they should either, okay, whatever. You put your own signs together. I don't have to do it for you. I once carried signs. It was ridiculous. The things we do. You look back and say, what did I do? I actually did that? Have I no shame? I had a sign and I was... Okay, it wasn't for like save the whales or something important. I'm not even going to talk about it. Not today. Maybe I'll save it for tomorrow. Have a great morning, everyone. A great day.